Good morning, everyone. Today I'll be taking the topic now, fcntl, that is nothing but a file control API. So we will just see what's the use of these API. fcntl, the function helps. API is nothing but a function. fcntl function helps to query or set access control flags. What are the access control flags? Access control flags are the flags which we have used in open function, which you have already know. So which are the access control flags? That includes access modifier flags, O underscore append, O underscore non-blocking is your access control flags. Okay. So O underscore append, O underscore non-block is the access control flags. And there is one more, a new flag is called as close on exit flag, is actually used on any of the file descriptor. Fine. So that is nothing but to set all these flags or to query or to take the information of all these flags on the particular file. So on the particular file here, we give only a file descriptor. So this is a prototype or a syntax of fcntl that has a written type of int, and this fcntl is actually defined in fcntl.h. If you don't give this header file, then this fcntl API will not be recognized. And you have a two parameter, and the third parameter is an option based on the second parameter. The first parameter is a file descriptor. As we already studied, only the open API will have the first argument, a path name. The open API will return a file descriptor. After use of open API, any kind of an API that you operate on the file will use a file descriptor. If you want to operate anything on the file disk files, then any file must be opened first. So before any operation you do on the file must be opened. After opening a file, you'll do n number of APIs is defined in the system, UNIX, that which you can actually use it. This open function will return file descriptor. This same file descriptor will be used for all the APIs that you use further. Fine. So the first argument is a file descriptor is nothing but indirectly you're accessing a file. And the second argument is a command. So we will see what is the command argument. Based on the command argument, I will have an options to enter the third arguments, that is nothing but setting the flags bit. Okay, setting the flags or a flags bit. So let's see the options of second and the third argument. The second argument is command argument specifies which operation to perform on a file referenced by the file descriptor argument. Fine. So it performs some of the file which has to be performed on the file, actually some of the operation that has to be performed on the file. Let us see that which file. And the third argument value is dependent on the actual command value. So these two we will check here in detail. The possible command values are defined in all the command values are defined in the fcntl.h header. These files and their uses are what files? The command values. All these are that you can put it in the command values. The first option that you can use in the command value is get fl. So if you write f underscore get fl, this is compulsory that you have to use f underscore, because these are all the macros actually defined in the same way in fcntl.h. So you need to use, otherwise you will get an error in that if you don't use. So it will not be recognized by the system. So f underscore get fl actually returns all the access control flags of the file descriptor. What all the flags is set in for the file, that and all I can retrieve, and I can get to know what is actually set and what is actually not set. Okay. If something is not set, then I can use this command value, that is f underscore set fl, which I can either set the new flags or I can remove any of the existing flags. That is nothing but a clearing the control flags that is already specified. So the allowed access control flags for the fcntl currently is o underscore append and o underscore non-black. In future, we will learn still more better options. So currently we are using only these two, append and non-black, if you want to set any new flags. Now, we have another value, that is a get fd. There's only difference between d and l. This is a flag and this is a get fd. What is this fd? This fd gives the information of only one flag, that is close on exec flag. Close on exec flag. This is a flag. Only to know about this flag's information, I will use the command value f underscore get fd. So if I want to know the return, what is the status of the close on exec flag, then I use get fd. If I want to set the close on exec flag value, then I will use set fd. What can be the possible values of close on exec flag? That's nothing but if you set this, and then you can actually set the close on exec flag value. What can be that? You should set in the third argument. What can be the third argument? That is nothing but fcntl integer value is your third argument for this. So if it is 0, then it says that if the close on exec flag is already set, then you should clear the flag. You should remove that flag. Or if it is 1, that's nothing but you are setting that on that flag. Okay, in the same way, if you go up and then check f underscore set fl, if o underscore append and o underscore non-black will be the third argument, if you use a second argument value get fl. So only in this case and this case you will use third argument of fcntl. In get and in get fd, in both the get, you're only retrieving the information, so the third argument is not specified. So now, before going to the next value of a command, we will just see what is a close on exec flag. Okay, what is a behavior? Because further we will learn in deep of close on exec flag. For now, I'll just brief on you what is close on exec flag. There is a chances that if you have a program, I call it as a process because program in execution is actually a process, right? So a program, while in running mode, the program in a running mode, we call it as a process. In a process or in a program, in a process, if you're accessing a file 1, which is already opened, you will say, I'll just clear it. If in a file, if you say open F1, right, then you will do some operation on F1 file. Then you will actually execute F1 after doing some operations or read or write any operations on file 1. What you will do, you want to execute further, you will get a chance to execute F1. Don't worry why you will get in, because you will learn in deep further. You want to execute in a process, already the program is running. In a running program, which I call it as a process, if you want to run one more command, the file itself will turn into a command and you want to run that file again. So that means this another file, already this is a file, right? Already this is my one file. This file in execution, it became a process. Now there is one more file inside this process which I've opened and did some manipulation. That file I need to execute. When that file you want to execute, what you need to do, it will come out. You have a very huge story on this. Let us assume it has to go in a execution mode. when it is going in an execution mode, it is always good that you need to close the opened file. So to set this, because by default in all the file, close on exit flag will be there, the bit will be there, but that bit will be off. That is, by default, that bit will be off. Okay, so if you want to on that bit, when do you on that bit? Because when I know that in my program, after opening and reading of some of this file one, using the content of the file one, I have to execute this file one, F1. So while I'm executing, putting this F1 into an execution mode, I should set the bit close on exit bit off. So to set that bit, we use set FD. Or to check whether it is off or on, I need to use get FD. Hope you have understood this. And the last argument is f underscore dup FD, which duplicates the file descriptor FDESC. I'll just erase everything. File descriptor with another file descriptor. So duplication is nothing but a cloning. So that means, what do you mean by duplicating? If you want to duplicate me, you need to bring another Priya with who I looks same, with the same face cut and everything. So that is called a duplication. There is a beautiful, what I can say, a behavior that you can duplicate a file. How do you duplicate a file? It's nothing but the file descriptor. If suppose when you open the file, if it is a 3, then you can also say that if I enter a file descriptor 4, both file descriptor tree opens, say for example F1 file 1, and I'll say if I call dupe, then I have to specify a new file descriptor for the same file, that for the F1. F1 is a file name, right? F1 is a file name which actually keeps the file descriptor, that is nothing but a numerical value, gives it is a unique value for F1, right? So I can duplicate this F1 giving a new file descriptor. When I give enter a file descriptor 4, even in 4 the same F1 will be opened. So that means F1 have a unique ID descriptor value 3 and also 4. I have duplicated file descriptor values, 2 file descriptor values 3 and 4, which both will open the same F1. Okay, if that option you want, then I can use f underscore dup FD. Let's see the examples of using these flags. Then it will be very clear for you. After a file open for blocking read-write access and the process needs to change. So currently what is happening? I have opened a file with blocking. I have blocked the read-write access, and the process needs to change the access to non-blocking. First of all, need to change the access for non-blocking, and I should allow writing to an append mode. So these things I should set. By default, it is not allowing for writing because it is blocking. Now I need to change to an unblocking, non-blocking, and I should allow to write that too in a appended mode. If I don't do appended mode, wherever the cursor is available, maybe in the middle or in the starting, the writing takes place. So for example, how will I set it? So that is, first I should know what is the flag is set. Let me take the flag details. How do you take? I will give fcntl, give the respective flag, which details you want, and I will say get fl. I'll get all the flag details. When I say all the flag details, I know that it is actually blocking. What I will do, I will set it. A new set, I will do it RC value, I'm storing it. fcntl for the same file descriptor, I should pass same file. If it is 3, even the file descriptor will be 3, where 3 is a file descriptor for file 1. So I am using a command value. What is a command value? This is my command value. Set fl. I'm setting a new flag to a existing. I am overwriting it, right? So with the current flag, I am appending that O underscore append. What is O underscore append? You have already seen in open function, right? Which appends to the end of the file. And I'm doing a OR operation, bit OR it is O underscore non-block. I'm saying don't block because it was there by default, it will be in a blocking stage. okay, by default. So now you will add a bit saying that don't block, allow it to write. While it is writing, it should be there in the appending mode. So I have set it. So this part is your, this part is your third argument. You can see in the above this example, the third argument is not specified because I'm just getting the information. This part is my second argument. It is a command value. As I'm getting the flag information, I don't have to set any flag, new flag in the third argument. So it is only getting the information. Example, the following example reports the close on exit flag of a file descriptor, FDESC, sets it to on afterwards. So now I am working on the close on exit flag. So what is that it is saying? I want to check whether the close on exit flag is there. If it is not there, then I should set it on. This is on. So now I'm just checking now. I need to get FD. Get FD is only works on close on exec, right? I'm just checking on get FD. I'm just taking the information that what is the information. Once I'm knowing the value of that close on, because I'm printing that whether the get FD close on exec is on or off. Once I get to know what I'm doing here, I am setting, this is my command value and this part is my third argument. What is a third argument for FD? It's nothing but if you want to set a close on exit flag on, you should specify 1. If you want to set it off, you should specify 0. Fine. So here I have set it according to the example they have asked. So I have made it on. Right. This is an example that where we are using a fcntl with different options. It's totally is nothing but where I'm able to completely control the file flag bits. Okay. Thank you.